Hey, how you doing? Thanks for joining me for another video. This one's going to be about sound deadening in my 2019 Suzuki Jimny. The video obviously will apply to just sound deadening in general for any car, but for me, yeah, this is my 2019 Jimny, and I'll run you through the installation, the cost, how long it took me, some considerations that you should make if it's something that you're wanting to do, and yeah, just overall if I think it's worth it, and a recommendation for you at the end. So this video is a little bit different to my normal ones because most of the video and audio is actually being filmed inside the car from a camera mounted on the windshield. So I feel like what that's going to do is give any viewer a really good understanding of how much noise reduction you can kind of be expecting, and there'll be some videos where the audio and video is filmed outside of the car, and you can kind of compare that back. I do just keep in mind that I've got mud terrain tyres and a front runner roof rack, so that when you're on the highway especially, that certainly adds to the overall road noise, and it's not just the noise from the road to consider, it's actually the noise coming down from the roof, from that roof rack. So the Stinger Roadkill sound deadening material that I went for comes in a bulk pack, and it was enough to do the entire car. The kit itself was $300, and that included a Stanley knife and a roller. So they're both just helpful for the installation. I'm sure you can use stuff from a home, but the roller I probably would recommend getting. It really helps you push it down into all the grooves. But the material itself was $285, yeah, and then $300 including the roller and the Stanley knife. So the total installation time is around 1 day. You could split it into doing the front and the rear on separate days if it was your daily driver, but if you really concentrate, you could definitely get it out and get it all done within 1 day. First step was to remove the driver and passenger seats, and it just gives you a lot more room when you're doing the next steps. So to remove them, you just need a T40 bit, and you can get that from Bunnings or pretty much anywhere. Take the seats out. There's 2 clips underneath each seat. Once those seats are out, then you're going to want to move on to taking the carpet out. So to do that, there's probably 15 to 20 different clips throughout the cabin that you just need to remove. They're pretty easy to find. I mean, you won't be able to get the carpet out without doing it. If you're like me and you've flooded it, unfortunately, you then have the job of cleaning out your carpet. So I just hired the carpet cleaner from Bunnings, and I think it was around $60 for 48 hours, and I had to buy the chemicals as well. Just followed the procedure and did that. So the way that I found easiest for me was to just kind of put the whole panel of sound deadening material up to where it is you want to do in the footwell or in the door or something like that, and you literally just hold it up there, cut it with your knife to shape, and then push it down, and then you kind of just mold it with your hands into all the grooves, and that's where you use the roller that comes in the installation kit to really push it down and push it into all those little grooves, because you can do it with your hand, but it's just not really as effective as using the roller. So yeah, moving on to the rear, it's pretty straightforward. You literally just take that bench seat out at the back, pull it up, and then you've got to take the little boot box at the back out as well, and then find there's just a heap of little plastic clips. Again, just a matter of finding them, pulling them all out. So I think the easiest way for me to do it is to put up the actual numbers using a sound meter app, just that you can find in the App Store. So it's comparing a Jimny that has sound deadening, as in mine, and one that doesn't. And I'll put the numbers up on the screen at different speeds, and you can get a bit of an indication on, the difference that it actually makes. So I guess it leaves me with 2 main questions at the end, and that's 1, is it worth the time that it takes, and 2, is it worth the money? Personally, I don't feel that it is worth the $300 and the amount of time that it took me to do it. I don't really think the issue is with the product. I think it's a great product, but I think the issue is with my expectations. So when you drive around in a European car, you don't hear any of that road noise, and it's pretty much silent. But I mean, when you look at the car behind me, it doesn't look like a European car. It's shaped like a brick, it's got mud terrain tyres, it's got a roof rack. All of those things really contribute to the overall sound, and there's not really that much you can do to cut down on that noise other than getting rid of the roof rack, returning to the stock tyres, which are perfectly fine to do. But for me and the way that I've set this car up, just doing stage 1 sound deadening wasn't enough, and I think the $300 probably wasn't the best way that I could have spent it. But if you were going to do it, I definitely recommend going and doing the further stages to get more value out of it. There is also other brands to consider other than the one that I used. So Josh used the Car Builders one, and that is a little bit cheaper, and overall seems like a fairly similar product and also has great reviews. But that pretty much sums up this video. Hope that maybe me spending the $300 on that might save you $300 you can put towards something else. Let me know down in the comments if you've already done it. Maybe you achieved better results than what I did. I'd really love to know, maybe there's something that I didn't do, that makes a big difference that you found. Let me know down in the comments, even some installation tips, and maybe anyone else looking to do it in the future can get some help out of that as well. Thanks so much for watching another one of my videos.